This is an Eyewitness News 5 tornado warning.
All right, this is still a very active thunderstorm across eastern sections of Harper County. Chris Lee has been monitoring this very carefully, as has Rob Hedrick. Let's go to Chris Lee first.
Take 7, Rick.
Still store 7. Let's take still store 7. Chris Lee, you looking at another funnel? Go ahead.
Yeah, it's a funnel halfway to the ground, and it appears to me that it's probably on the ground. I can't see to the ground right now.
We see your shot on the right-hand side of your screen.
It's the shape it in, I believe it is on the ground.
Okay.
I can't see a debris cloud from exactly where I'm at, but it is north of Fort Supply by, I'm going to guess 5 to 10 miles, and it just appears to be over open ground. There just doesn't seem to be a whole lot of things over there. It's north of the
That's Rob's shot.
Chris, we are we're toggling back between your shot and Rob Hedrick's
Rob,
shot.
can you hear me? Stand by.
We've got Chris Lee watching that. Let's go to Rob Hedrick. Rob, can you see if it's on the ground?
Rick, I cannot see if it's on the ground, but it definitely is getting larger. The storm at the top is increasing in size. It does not look like it has touched the ground, or it does not look like it's in contact with the ground right now, Rick. I'm I'd say about 6 miles north of Fort Supply, and we're getting up here north to see if it actually is in contact with the ground.
Well, I tell you what, it looks that's the most impressive looking funnel we've had so far tonight. I would not want to be under it. This is Rob is again north of Fort Supply. We're out over a fairly rural area, thankfully, but this is happening live here on Eyewitness News 5, and watching a tornado developing, or at least a funnel cloud. Just because you don't see it touch the ground doesn't mean that it's not on the ground. Sometimes the condensation funnel doesn't go all the way down to the ground. So again, if you live out in the rural areas north of Fort Supply, you need to be in your shelters right now, as this storm has the potential for a tornado. This is Chris Lee's shot. This is a well-lit, sunlit shot. Go ahead.
It does look like it's trying to form and tighten up its rotation again. It may be trying to go to the ground as we speak, Rick.
Okay, very good.
It's bearing down to the ground right now, Rick. Tornado on the ground just north of Fort Supply by the windmill farm, Rick.
Okay, north of Fort Supply by the windmill farm. This tornado on the ground. This is Chris Lee's shot. Rob Hedrick's looking at it from a different view. So we've got a tornado on the ground. This is Rob Hedrick's shot now. Again, this is out in the open.
Firmly in contact with the ground, Rick.
In contact with the ground again.
Debris coming up from the base of the tornado, Rick.
Okay, I see it. We got it. We've got your shot. Rob, with respect to that windmill on the left, is it approaching it or moving away?
Rick, it looks like it is moving off to the north.
Okay,
the storm is moving away from us. We're coming from the south on 1930 road. People from Fort Supply will know what road that is. It is very large, Rick. It is increasing in size. It is firmly in contact with the ground, Rick, and again, we do see debris coming from the bottom of the storm, Rick.
Yeah,
very good. We have an excellent shot from Chris Lee. We have both shots from Chris Lee and Rob Hedrick.
Can they zoom in a little bit, guys?
Yeah, can we get... Okay, very good, very good. Can they pan it to the right just a hair? Okay, there we go, folks. Dual tornadoes on the ground. Same tornado, different looks here. This, Rusty, this tornado is increasing in strength.
Rick, I'm looking at from the Vance Air Force radar on Live Advantage Doppler HD, and that couplet is really tightening up. This is going to be about 6 northeast of Fort Supply, about 6 south of Selman, and probably, as the crow flies, about 12 miles southwest of Plainview. So those folks in Plainview right now, now is the time to be in your storm shelters, Rick. This is a very dangerous situation.
Yep.
Rob, go ahead. We can hear you talking. What are you seeing? You're right there.
We're looking at the base of the storm, Rick, and it definitely was on the ground. It looks like it's starting to kind of dissipate just a little bit, Rick, but it definitely is still a very large elephant trunk tornado.
It looks. We're looking at it. We're looking at it both from your stream and from Chris Lee's. Now we've kind of lost you.
Yeah, we're getting around a little hill out here. It's very hilly up here, Rick.
Okay.
And, we're trying to get around and see. Rick, it definitely still looks like it's still got debris cloud on the bottom. It's probably we're about 7 north of Fort Supply, and it's about quarter mile north of me.
That's Chris.
Still turning and still very much in contact with the ground, Rick.
Very good. Folks in Fort Supply, this storm is moving away from you. We are talking here about eastern sections of Harper County. Eastern sections of Harper County. Those of you in eastern sections of Harper County on into northwestern Woods County, you are in the path of this storm right now. And again, we have two different views of this same tornado. Chris Lee is on the right, Rob Hedrick is on the left. Chris Lee's stationary right now. Rob is following it. And it's a very narrow funnel from Chris's view, but as you can see, Rob's a little bit closer. And this storm is moving to the northeast at about 35 miles per hour. So as it tracks across eastern Harper County, it's fairly rural. But those of you in Selman, you could be experiencing some large hail with this. Could easily see up to baseball-size hail with this. The circulation is south of Selman, so I don't think the folks in Selman have to be concerned about the tornado, but it's not out of the question to see some baseball-size hail with this.
Rick, can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Rick, it does look like it may be starting to kind of do a dying cycle where it's starting to rip out. It's still on the ground, but it definitely has decreased in size quite a bit, Rick.
Okay, Rob, we're repositioning, getting your shot back up. We've temporarily lost it, but we still have Chris's, and we are seeing that the storm, it still looks very impressive on radar. Now, this is south of U.S. Highway 64. Those of you in Plainview and Camp Houston, as the storm approaches, you could experience very large hail before any type of tornadic circulation. Go ahead, Russ.
Rick, I've been looking at our satellite truck. If we can take that full, it looks like it's trying to rope out a bit right now. He's pretty far away from it.
Yeah, you can see how.
I think that's it.
Look, guys, if you can let me walk into the key here, you may watch this just kind of dissipate. It's right there. It's certainly a lot weaker than it was. And right now it's doubtful if that maybe even is touching the ground at this point.
The last scan also from Vance, Rick, the shear has definitely dropped a little bit. The couplet's not.
Yeah, Rob, go ahead.
Rick, it does look like it's finally roping out. I'm seeing the last little dying end of it touching the ground right now. Okay. It's very weak. It's still on the ground, but it is very weak, and it is roping out. I've also got my stream back up for you. I had a little problem here with the cell phone. It's still on the ground. I'm actually seeing it still in contact with the ground about 200 yards to my north.
Let's go ahead and take the satellite shot live and full. I'm sorry.
There we go. Okay.
And
Rob's stream is back up.
Let's go to Rob's again.
That'd be still store 7, guys.
Okay, Rob's got, there's kind of the dying portion of it. Now, these, you know how these things go. They can die out and recycle, and I mean, it still looks like it's, Rob, is it still on the ground?
Rick, it does not look like it's on the ground. It's got that, like, there's a little wispy, curly-Q tail coming off the bottom end of the funnel. It does not look like it's currently on the ground, Rick.
Okay. Well, hopefully we've seen the last of this, but unfortunately the conditions are favorable for thunderstorms to continue. That's why we have a tornado watch in effect for the western third of the state until 1 o'clock tomorrow morning, and we have